I'm gonna start a series on modesty, and I'm gonna try to go over some pretty specific topics. One, for example, would be gym modesty, which actually could be a whole series. But specifically with gym modesty, do you think leggings are appropriate to wear as pants? I would love for you guys to answer in the comments, and then I can use some of those comments to film the next video. I usually ask on Instagram that question, and the results are pretty 50-50. For some backstory, I used to only post workout and fitness videos and posts. This was years ago, and I did wear leggings in all of those posts, and I look back and I'm like, they do not look modest to me. I never wore anything that I would say is terrible to the gym, but through mostly my sanctification with God and being an obedient Catholic, my ideas of modesty have changed, and I'm sure they will continue to change. But I think it's a good conversation because modesty, yes, it's a heart posture, as many people will say, but it is also subjective in many ways. I think most of us can agree what is appropriate and not. There is some gray area, like I said, like leggings, I just don't think they're appropriate, and I know some of you would argue the opposite. But maybe we can come to some agreements on modesty. And I will be honest, most of the modesty stuff comes back to children. And you might be like, why is this coming back to children? I think that we have the responsibility, especially as Catholics or any denomination of Christianity, to be modest around children and to adhere to good morals for the well-being of children and to be good examples. And even if you're not Christian, I still think we have an obligation to children to do what is right and to do what is moral. And to have an over-sexualized society is not good. To say it's appropriate to wear anything we want out in public, anything we want to the gym, is not good morally. And I don't know how anyone could argue that, to be honest. I know that feminists probably will. I will say it's not a freedom to not be a good example in front of children. It shouldn't be a freedom that you want. Another topic in this series will probably be, I know a lot of women put all of the blame on men, and men, first of all, do also need to dress modestly when we're talking about this conversation, but also women will say, like, it shouldn't matter because men shouldn't be looking at me, or men should control their thoughts. And that is also true, that especially as a Christian man, you should not be having lustful thoughts, would be the term. But we, as both genders, have responsibilities to society and most of all to Jesus Christ. Can get into more like detailed subjects too of gym modesty. Beach modesty is a big one now, or like what swim attire to wear. Modesty at church would be a good one to go over. And then again, just the societal impacts and the moral impacts of dressing modestly or immodestly. Leave your subject ideas when it comes to modesty. If you have any opinions, you can leave them as well. And I will see you in the next video.